Hello, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are joining us from. Thank you for joining our today's session. So kindly drop your name and location you are joining us from. And I promise you a wonderful experience in today's session where we are going to be walking you through data visualization and storytelling using Power BI. And also, today's session will be facilitated by our one prominent industry expert, who is David Abu, which I'll be supporting to anchor this session. So thank you for joining. Kindly drop your name and location you are joining us from. And also, don't forget to add, let know your skills in Power BI. What are your favorite tools that you use most, function you use Power BI? What has been your favorite thing about Power BI? Share your experience via the chat. Okay, Muhammad, welcome. Thank you for joining from Badagry, Lagos. All right, thank you. Thank you for joining the call. I could see a lot of people are already troubling him. All right. Okay, Sarah from Okota, Lagos. Thank you for joining. Okay, without any further delay, I think this 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. Nigerian time. So we are going to start right away. But before we dive into today's session, I would just like to introduce us to DSL and then introduce us to speakers of today's session. Then we are going to go into the class properly. So, as you all know, this data scientist network space and about DSL is that we are committed to raising 1 million AI talents, building AI solutions that improve the quality of life and well-being of 2 billion people in emerging markets. And also, we still have a renewed focus to ensure that we expand our community for learning, for researching, product development, and also partnership for solution delivery. So at DSN, we have involved into different charters as organization who started as just learning community to community who build research and social good applications, corporate social support, the solution deployment, and also we have now started supporting startups to ensure the scalability of their product. And also, we have won numerous awards as one of them is being an artificial intelligence learning community solution delivery network in Africa. Also, we won the best academic poster to furthermore establish that we've moved just from just being ordinary community to community that actually writes research paper and also show their proficiency in those areas. So this is one of the awards that we won as well. So we won several academic poster presentation with our communities of learners. This is one of them in New York City. And also we also not only based on research only, we also publish books to ensure that there's earlier adoption of AI knowledge across all strata. This is one of our books that was published for beginner artificial intelligence on Python programming. And also, not to take much of our time, so I will introduce you to our dedicated AI research hub, where you can use for training and also have access to build products with a robotic lab. And this give you a venue to also ensure that if you want to work from home and you need a workspace, you can actually make use of our hub. It's one of the best in town for you, which I will highly recommend. And also, we have a lot of products that we've launched which has won global recognition. This is some of our startups which we have supported in the last couple of months. We also stand on the shoulder of the giant. These are our world-class advisory board who have been supporting on what we do as an organization. So in today's session, I will be introducing you to our speaker, who is going to facilitate this session, will be on the call as well to support and also help to provide questions to anything you have. So you can always drop your question at the chat. We'll be there to pick it up as we are having more people joining the call. So meet David Abu. So David Abu started as an analyst, training enterprise companies on how to use and work with Microsoft Excel and Power Platform. And he also trained over 3,000. This number is now very low. He has trained over 3,000, over 5,000 professionals in various industries, ranging from banking, oil and gas, fintech company. He also worked with David. He previously worked with David Brand in building first Power BI community. Well, now he's now working with Microsoft to take the global Power BI cloud advocacy role. And also, this day job is speaking, connecting with different global community and working with the Power BI products. And one of the connecting is what he's doing here today. So we're meeting with a lot of DSN people today as well. So with his love for community, he has founded Data Community Africa, which he house professionals who have different roles with data space. So I'm very sure we all know about Data Fest that just been concluded, which is the first event with over 2,000 physical data professional presence in Lagos, Nigeria. So if you are in that event, kindly drop your best emoji on the chat as well. Let's get to see you that you are there, you are ably represented. So let me confirm if David is on call, so you can say hi to the people on the call. Hi, David. Good day to you. I trust you.
Hi, David.
Thank you. So I think let me bring you up here. You already have guys call me.
So let me see if I can on my video.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you see me?
Yes, I can see you. I can see you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't mind my bicycle at the back. Okay. So the internet is kind of bad. So I will try and switch off the video, and hopefully the God of internet accept our prayer this afternoon. Okay, so I was seeing some charts already. Okay, thank you, Temitokwe, for coming to Data First. Sadiq, thank you for coming to Data First. Thank you very much. Okay, I think we have 32 people on the call right now. So that is a pretty cool class for the next 2 hours. So we're going to try to cover some things in the next 2 hours. Now, one of the best thing about Power BI or presentation is that we will try to make sure we go from a beginner to intermediate. So there are some things that you might not understand. There are some things you understand, but that is fine. But you will be able to pick up some things in the next 2 hours. And there are some things that you already know, but that is how it is. So we want as much as possible to carry everybody along. We don't want anybody to feel out of place. So I'm going to switch off. Let me first switch off my video. Okay, Jane, you're a beginner. That is fine. Don't worry. We'll pick it up like that so that everybody will be able to learn. I also have some materials. I think I sent it to David, so David will drop it in the meeting, so that for those who wants to learn after the class. So let me share my screen. So I am currently using 3 screens, so I might not be looking at. Okay, so since I'm not even using video, I might not be looking at your the camera. So just pardon me. So can you see my screen? Let me know if you can see my screen. Can you see?
Yes, your screen is up. Yes.
Okay, so somebody asked if the meeting is being recorded. Is the meeting being recorded?
Yeah,
okay.
The meeting is being recorded. Yeah.
Okay, that is fine. Okay, so let's pull up some things. So if you want to follow what I'm doing, or a little bit of understanding the different concepts in which I'll be explaining, you can look at that link. David, you can help me post this link. That will be good. But I think I should be able to. Do that. Yeah. So so let's pick it up from there, or you can use your phone, your QR code, to pick it up from there too. Hello, can you hear me?
We lost you for a few minutes. Yeah, see your back now. God of internet should work now.
Yeah, the internet just trips off. I don't know, just trips off. So I'm so sorry, everyone. But yeah, so let me see. Okay, so I just need to switch off the video. But can you hear me, David? Can anybody hear me? Let me be sure. Hi. Can you hear me? Okay, great. Okay, so now some of the principles, we want to be able to look at the principles of visualization. Also, how to tell a story with data visualization in Power BI, and choosing the best visualization that is appropriate for any appropriate story, choosing the best visualization for any appropriate data story, and also how to work with AI visuals in Power BI. We're just going to look at some little things and some things that have been improved over time, and that is where we'll pick it up from there. Okay, so thank you very much, King, for the information. So also the link that we sent earlier on, you can just check that, and that is where I'm picking up the resources from. So you can always look at that to pick it up from there. Please, can we have the URL again? David will send that to the chat. Okay, so most of the time we want to build visualization like this. We want to be able to analyze a report as beautiful as this, or as close as this, depending on what we are looking at. But most of the time, it depends on what we are trying to achieve. So whatever we are trying to achieve gives us context into what we want to do. Now, let us take it up from the first audience. So there are different audience that you're working with, and you need to know your audience. Now, when you're working with different audience, is that, okay, the first question when creating a report is, okay, who am I presenting to? So if David Akonji is presenting to board of directors of DSN, he's not going to present it in similar way when he's presenting to the operations manager of DSN. Neither will he do it if he's presenting to, let's say, the students of DSN or just normal professionals of DSN. So your audience determines the type of visualization or the type of direction your data story will head to. But most of the time, everybody just create visuals for creating sake, which at the end of the day, we always have issues. Now, what our audience? We have three audiences that we're working with. You are having either the executive audience, the analyst audience, or the information workers audience. The executive audience are the C-suite executive in any company. Those people just need high-level reports. They don't need in total set of reports. No, they just need high level. They don't need you to go drill down, drill down, drill down. No, they don't need that. They don't need the day-to-day analysis. They don't need it. They just need high level. So because every CEO or every C-suite have something they call KPI. And their KPI is so important to them. A finance person KPI is different from a CDO KPI, or it's also different from a CIO KPI. So you have to be sure which audience you're looking at. So a CFO KPI might be looking at the financial reports and is looking at, let's say, the income statement, trial balance and stuff. So some things like that. So you have to be thinking of ways in which you can actually do what you need to do. The next audience that we are looking at, or the next audience is, the next thing that we're looking at is the report. You know, we've talked about executive, we talked about analysts. The analysts are just the normal people, the normal data analysts that you're looking at. They want just like drill down information. Information workers are, let's say, the operation guys who want to be able to see the day-to-day activities of maybe the sales department or maybe the data team or something like that. So those people are kind of people who are drilling down, depending on what you are looking at. Now, if you look at the report type are three also. You're looking at either the dashboard. So you notice that report and dashboard are different, especially in the case of Power BI. Reports are what you build on the Power BI desktop. Dashboard are what you see on the Power BI service. So they are different. So you have to be dashboard in your Power BI service. Yes, it can, but most of the time it might not be. So let me explain. So imagine that you have the CEO, David Akonji is a CEO, and I'm doing a report for him. You might want to see a report from, let's say, different departments. The dashboard that we show, can anybody see my screen? David, can you see my screen?
Yes, we are seeing the report type that you share around this on the slide.
Okay. Because Alimat said can't see your screen, so that was why I needed to ask immediately. Alimat, check your internet. Yeah, check your internet, Alimat. So if you have different departments coming in from, let's say we have the different departments, a CEO like David Akonji now wants to just see high level of different departments. So you need to be able to understand that is now more of a dashboard. But let's say different departments are just report. But when you now try to pick the most important high levels within those reports, you put them on a live dashboard. And that sucks out information or insight from other reports. So that is more of a dashboard. We have the analytical. The analytical is more of those reports whereby you drill down. Operationals, there are operational reports also whereby it's just more, okay, we are trying to achieve something and we needed to run some operational analysis of those things, something like that. So all those things determine which type of report that you want to be able to do. Now we go into UI requirements. Now UI requirements, you're looking at the styles, you're looking at the themes, you're looking at logos, you're looking at accessibility. Because it's just so important that you know, okay, if this person is looking at from a mobile view, how will it look like? If this person is looking at from a tab, how will it look like? If this person is looking from a system, how will it look like? Or the colors. Will the person looking at my report be somebody who is colorblind? I have to be careful with the colors. I have to be careful with this. I have to be careful with that. All these things are because when you send somebody a report and the person says, David, I can't understand your report. Like, I don't know how to move in your report. Then there's a big problem. If only you understand your reports, then there's a big problem. So you have to be careful of the way. So a report should be like an app. You know, you have seen some bank app that you just can't understand it, and it's just become more boring to use and stuff like that. So you have to be careful of how you show your report. And the last one that we have is the user experience. It's more about the experience. How will people be able to understand my report when they see it? So let's go to the next thing. Now, there is something called the rule of thirds. The rule of thirds. Now, what do we mean? It means that a visual act rule that can be applied to report object placement in an analytical report. This rule proposes that a page layout should be divided into invisible grid of 9 equal parts. This grid is formed by 2 equally spaced horizontal line and 2 equally spaced vertical line. Then report objects can be placed within the cells of those grid. Now, if you look at this report or this page, you will notice that we have 2 horizontal, 2 verticals. 2 horizontal, 2 verticals. Now, if you are doing reports, you just see so many people who do reports and their placement is just bad. Now, I am not saying it is a must you have to have 9 charts. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that there are ways in which you are going to do your reports that below it, you've aligned it in a way that you can just place in your charts there. So that is why some people do say, you notice your designer, you have product designer, they will have built what they want in a paper, how it's going to be like, and they'll just start putting them there. And you notice that a product designer will help the product, the software developer to be able to build. Why? Because they understand the interface and everything. So a designer is just to show, okay, this is how it should be, this is how it should flow, this is how it should go to the left, to the right, to the front, to the back, the color combination and everything. So the software developer just picks up what they've built in Figma and start trying to replicate it using codes. Now, the same thing applies to visualizations. Most people just feel, oh, becoming a data analyst is just to open any visualization tool and start building reports. It doesn't work that way. It takes you energy and you understanding. Like while I was preparing for this report or for this class, I used 6 hours to prepare. I needed to build the reports the way I want it to be. And you're going to see it. I needed to think of different ways in which it can come out, the template and everything, before I can now say, okay, what am I putting here? What am I putting here? What am I putting here? So it is just not about the different charts. It's about the placement. It's about the idea. It's about the flow. So there's so many things involved in this. So the rule of thirds, you have to be careful. So right now, let's say in my first place here, in my first rule, I can just put in a full big picture or a full big chart there. And you're going to see it in different ways. And in the other 2 sides, and I can still put some other things. So you just have to think of different ways in which you can actually build your report. So that is why alignment is so important in reports. You have to think of alignment. And now we head over to something we call the PCR rule. So I've taught you like 2 rules already. I started with the type of audience that you're working with. Then I moved on into the things. When you have your audience already, you need to understand the different type of things that you're looking out for. You're looking for the UI, you're looking for the UX requirements, you're looking for so many other things. Then We also look at the rule of thirds. Then now we are looking at the PCR rule. What do we mean when we say the PCR rule? If you have questions, you can type them. I can always reply. Now, the PCR rule, the first rule in P, the P is for proximity. Now, what do we mean? It means that whenever you have things that are talking to each other, the rule of third, THIRDS, the rule of thirds. Yes, the rule of thirds. Yes, that is what I meant. The rule of thirds. Okay, good. So now, proximity means that whenever you have something that might be closer to each other when it comes to analytics or reporting, put them together. They should be closer to each other. So if you notice this, you have something they call the key metric. And in the key metric, you have the numbers, you have the charts talking to the total sales, units sold, something like that. And below it, you also have another card. All of them are talking to each other, and it's just easy for you to build. Simple and easy like that. Simple and easy. Something like that. It's just simple. So that is you understanding that, oh, these things have to be close. Why? Is because when somebody is looking at it, they understand that, oh, okay, this analysis are talking to each other. So if I'm slicing each one another, oh, I should be able to understand that this is talking to this is talking to this. As simple as that. And also, you will also notice the alignment. You will also notice the alignment. You notice that they are aligned together. So you always be careful and of that also. Then now, the next thing I want to talk about after P is the contrast. If you look at the contrast, look at it. You are looking at the top sales by, let's say, product. And you see that the first one is only blue and the others were the other shade, gray. That is the rule. It's easy so that you'll be able to understand, let's say, the top selling product or the top manager or the top salesperson or the top customer. It's so important that you're able to understand the different ones that are there. So it's just so important. So always be able to understand contrast so that people can be able to see it and say, oh, okay, fine. Yeah, I understand this. This makes sense. And something like that. So let's move to the repetition. Repetition means that sometimes, for emphasis sake, depending on your audience, you want them to be able to understand the consistency of the report you are trying to tell or the story that you are trying to tell. So consistency is so important, and we can say repetition. So if you don't understand the contrast part, okay, I'm going to go back there for everybody because of the contrast. Now, let's assume that you want to be able to tell the top people in let's say the top 5 people in an organization. It's so easy for them to put the charts to be like all blue or all gray. But yes, it will be easy for you to still know that, oh, let's say the top person is David Akonji. It's fine. But some people cannot read, or others is that maybe they might not be able to see and they need colors. Colors is easier for them to be able to understand. And you also know that the visuals that you tell is so easy for you. Immediately I see a visual, I should be able to tell the story very, very fast. But when you look at a visual in Power BI and you can't tell the story very fast, then that visual has an issue. So you have to be careful. So what we did here was that we made the top to be color blue and we made others to be color gray. It's so easy because the story I want to tell is that the top person is ABC. That is the top person. Or the top person name is Sarah. So, and Sarah is only blue. Sometimes I might want to say that, let's say I have David Akonji as our CEO, and let's say the top 5 salesperson in DSA comes from Lagos. I might be able to say, okay, out of the top 5, the top 3 is coming from Lagos. I might shade the top 3 to be, let's say, another color. But because I wanted to show a story that, oh, out of the 36 states in Nigeria, or out of the 50 states in US, the top 3 actually come from one location. It is just the idea of you telling a story for people to understand. Sarah, I hope you're able to get that. If not, you're going to see that when we go to the demo session. And so let's go into the repetition. Yeah, so repetition is more of you focusing on a point that you're trying to make. So it's part of creating design. It's more of association and consistency. And it is a good use to strengthen a report layout by typing or by tying related report objects together. So if you understand the P, if you understand the C, and if you understand the R, it's so easy for you to be able to understand where you are heading to. Okay. So now let's see something. Let's see something together. So it's supposed to be demo 1, but don't worry, where to use the right visual. So let's go to see how do we use the right visual. So I'm going to come here. So let's see that. I want to be able to click, and I don't know why it's not clicking, but coming. Okay, so let's see this. Let me share my screen. Okay, the data set. Yeah, that is fine. We'll share the data set. David, just let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, your screen is up.
Okay, good. Now we have this, and we want to be able to see at what point in time do you use a good visual or the right visual set. So now, always remember that in reporting, you can always have your individual style. It is accepted, but there are some things that are called that is universal, and you have to accept it the way it is. Now, for categorical line charts, if you're speaking on categorical line charts, now is that if you look at this, there are issues here. So what is the issue? You will notice that you have Teams, PowerPoint, Xbox, Excel, Power BI, and PowerPoint as what we are trying to analyze here. But there is an issue here because we don't use, anytime you have category, you don't use a line chart. Rather, use a bar chart. And now, if I toggle here, you're not going to see this. This is a better visual. So if you look here, you see this. And if you look here, you see this. This is more better visual. And you can go further to now say, oh, okay, the Power BI and others, I don't like it this way. Maybe I'm going to now change it to a more lower color or a more lighter color so that only PowerPoint can show in full, something like that. So those are the type of conversation that you begin to have. If you look at the link that we sent to you, Alan and Noble, you can see all these things that I am showing you on the screen right now. So now also is that you have something we call the time on your Y series. Now the time on your Y series, imagine the date here. It's just Sunday, everything is like this, but definitely it doesn't make sense. Anytime you're doing time series, please always know that it doesn't work this way. You have to use a line chart. It's so important to use a line chart. If you are going this route, you have to use, anytime you see date, you are working with date, please use a line chart. It's just so important that you use a line chart. Now, if you're going and sorting by category. Now, sorting by category has to do with data points, and you want to be able to get it very well. So imagine this now. It's true that it's so easy that PowerPoint, we can know that PowerPoint is the highest, but if you look at it, it means that my eyes have to go 3 steps before I get to know that PowerPoint is actually the highest. But the next question now is that if I now said, okay, I want to be able to know who is the second highest, I have to look up again and start all over again. So it's bad. It's bad for reporting. Very, very bad for reporting. So don't make sure that your report is never like this. It's just never like this. So as simple as this. Very beautiful. So you can look at it also. Who can remember the rule that is used here? Anybody? You can type it in the chat. Which rule is used here? Anybody? Type it in the chat. We have over 86 people here. So which rule is used here at this point in time? Yeah, thank you. The rule of contrast. I agree. I like that. The rule of contrast. So you need to be able to understand this different rule to be able to know, okay, what am I trying to do here? What will I try to achieve when I am doing this? Okay, cool. I like that. Everybody is concentrating in the class. And now, when you are now doing, let's say, multiple dimension, what do we mean by multiple dimension? So you can see this. So all about you using different colors entirely from the top. Now, if you're using different colors entirely from, it doesn't really, it's not good because you're not doing legend. Sarah, whenever you're doing legend is when you can say, oh, okay, let's use different colors. But, and again, it also depends what you're trying to achieve. But if it is just one category by, let's say, price or by sales, it's just easy for you to just do it easily. And again, you have to make sure that you're not trying to confuse your people or the person that your users or your audience. That is the major thing. It has nothing to do with, oh, this is how I love it. It should be like, why it's not like this? No. Your point is that your audience, they understand. If imagine a colorblind person and you're giving the person different colors to just be looking at, it becomes confusing. And also, even in a full report, always try to make sure that your report is no more than your colors are no more than 3, as much as possible. 3 at the maximum. 2, 3, 2, 3. If you're using 4, it's too rare. Don't make sure that it's just no more than 2, 3. Because why? It's going to give you more easier way to read and also consistency. You have to be able to achieve consistency in your report and neatness, alignment, everything. It has to just be neat as possible. So look at this now. You're trying to do different reports, different dimension. So there are 2 dimensions here. Who can give us 2 dimension? What is the 2 dimension here? You'll notice that there are 2 dimensions by quarter and also by category. Quarter and by category. So, but if you look at this, it doesn't make sense. So when we change it, you now see it's just easy to read. It's just easy to read. Just easy to read that you can see that quarter 1 is the blue or the dark blue. Quarter 2 is like the light blue. And so I just understand that Office 365 in the first quarter is $35 million, but in the second quarter is $52 million. In the first quarter, it's so easy. So easy. And this is what we call the clustered column chart. So you have to be able to understand when dealing with multiple dimension, which chart should I use? Which chart? And this is a clustered column chart. So you have to be, when you begin to understand these rules and apply them, it's easier for you going forward. Sometimes you have to break so many things that we've learned, like 3D. Never use 3D in a business meeting. Please, never use 3D in a business setting. I know some of you have been using 3D and you're like, no way, David. No way. I know I can't disturb you in this meeting, but I will send you a LinkedIn message. There is no way you tell me not to use 3D. I use 3D and they accept it. Even my line manager likes 3D. Yes, because that is the way he has been learning it for 20 years, 30 years. So that is what he understands. So it's going to be very hard for him to switch. But from a business perspective, please never use 3D. Can this work for a case of 3 dimensions of categories? Yes, it can. Yes, it can. But the next question, Temitope, I want to ask you is that what are you trying to achieve with the 3 dimensions of category? Because the question is, what are you trying to achieve? Because right now, in this one, I wanted to see the analysis by different quarters. So imagine that there are 4 quarters. If you have that, will that give you the same message that you want to pass across? If it's going to give you, then please, you can always use it. But you have to be able to know that what story am I trying to tell? That is so important. What story am I trying to tell? Okay, so now visualizing crowded data points, visualizing crowded data. So now imagine you have a crowded categorical data and you want to be able to analyze them. Sometimes the variance might be hard for you to be able to do the variance. So how do we achieve that? So it's so easy. And most of the time, people think that, David, this is just a table, or this is just like, let's say, a matrix. Do people use table and matrix? Yes. Yes. Most sincerely, when I see so many visual dashboard, table are one of the most popular ones that people use. Don't be shy from using tables or matrix for your report. It's simple. Table visuals and matrix, they're just simple, straight to the point. The numbers are there. It's just so easy for me to understand. So just make sure that the major thing you are trying to say is the story. It's not about the best visuals, sincerely. Even though having the best visual is important, it's about the story. So the story actually helps us take which one is the best visual to use. So you have to be very sure what you are trying to say, something like that. If you have that, then it's so easy for you to work with that. So let's move up to the last one that we have here. Mix science visuals in proportional visual. Right now, remember that where I spoke about 3D, another one that everybody likes to use is what we call what do we call this now? Pie chart, donut chart. Please reduce pie chart as much as possible. Reduce it. Reduce it. Please reduce it, especially when there are close numbers. So imagine this now. Even with the data labels, it's still hard for you to be able to know. You have to, 400 is PowerPoint. Even the Excel, we can't even see Excel. So that is so important for you to be able to check. You have to be able to check. You have to be able to check that. Okay, so now, what is the best? And I think that answers Temitope's question. And you can see this now. It's still a column chart. And you can be able to see the real results. Remember that because this was having minus 100, it wasn't showing. It wasn't showing at all. But right now, immediately we came here, it was showing. So you have to be able to check. You have to be able to check that. And yes, are we getting the recorded? Yes, I think definitely David will do that. Which site can someone get Power BI data sets? Data sets are everywhere. You are just not checking. Go to Kaggle, there's data sets. Go to anywhere, there's data sets. There's so many data sets. I don't know which type of data set you are looking for. No matter the type of data set, if you go to GitHub, go to Kaggle, you will always see data sets. Even on Google, United Nations have data sets. There's so many data sets everywhere. So, yep, that answers your question. So let's go back to the report. To our PowerPoint. So, you know what? Let's do a full report. let's do a full report. Let's analyze a full report. But before we do that, I'm going to take you to the our Power BI service. Let's check out something in the Power BI service. Now, if you look at this, this was the report I tried to create. It's very, 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 very simple. Very, very simple. You can see we have the first page here. I'm going to show you the data set. Don't worry, I'll show you the data set. We have the overview. So you go from overview. In the overview, you can go to product analysis. From product analysis, you can go to the trend analysis. From trend analysis, you can go to insights. What do you see? What do you notice I did here in this insight? What did you notice I did in this insight? Anybody wants to try? What do you notice I did in this insights page? Insights page. What did you notice I did here? Anybody? I forecasted insights. The insight, this is insight. The summary of what you found. Insights. The rule of 9. Thank you. The rule of 9. Abigail, thank you. The rule of 9. I needed to understand that the rule of thoughts. Thank you. Rule of thought. Sorry. Rule of thought. I needed to understand what am I trying to do, and I started placing them where I want them to be, and that is it. So when I want to start doing my reports, I just fix, and I'm fine. So you have to be able to understand that. So for me now, as simple as they are right now, my report is more of 90% done, because now, exactly, a template by the rule of thought. Thank you, Amarachi. So this way, I'm already understanding what I want to achieve. I'm already understanding, okay, what should be here, what should be here, what should be here. I'm already understanding it. So, or even look at the product. So let's look at the product. See what I did here. Immediately I'm touching here, I can see, okay, what is, let's say, the sum of sales and also the sum of quantity. I can see that already. Now, this is the look and feel. I'm now using the user experience. So when somebody comes in, they're already seeing it and like, oh, okay, Drew True. What is Drew True? Oh, okay. So now look at this. He's saying this report is for Galash LLC. Okay. I go back and let me touch on cross. I touch on cross. I want to be able to Drew True again. And see, he says this report is for cost. Now it's showing all cost is a distributor. It's showing that, it's showing the products that cost are sold. It's showing the sum of quantity, how many quantity, and it's showing the cities that cost has been selling and also the sales. What do you like about this report? What do you think about the report I'm showing you? What do you think about it? So now you're going to be start seeing the user interface. The user experience is showing product already. If I think of sales, it's showing sales already. Beautiful. So it's talking about sales. It's talking about the product in the same location. So it doesn't change. I'm not going out of one place to another place. I am still here. I am still in the same page. So you have to be able to understand how it goes one after the other. So let's look at this. So now I'm going to now take you to the Power BI desktop itself, and let's see something that we can build on the Power BI desktop. Yeah, let's try. Let me see. Gana Ibolu. I hope I did not murder your name, but if I did, sorry. But let me call you GB. GBs. So GB, yeah, we're going to try to do that. We'll try to do that. Even though I know I have like 1 hour, please. We'll try to do that. So where do you get it? Where do I get the dashboard? So I mean the data set. So let me go to, I think, the internet. Let me see where I got it. Okay, good. So let me share this with you. I got it from my friend's website, Ahmed Oyolowo's website. So you can see that. I got it from there, so you can pick it up from there. And let me go back to my dashboard. So good. Now, the next thing is that this is the data set that came in. And we got this data set, I think it was very large. I think it was over 200K data set. So your system, hopefully your system is not slow. But if it is slow, it's just because of the data set is large. So what I did was this. I was able to get all these data sets. Yeah. So you can look at it. We have the distributor, customer name. We have the city. We have the country, latitude, longitude, channel, sub-channel, product name, product class, quantity, price, sales, January, month, year, name of sales rep, the manager, the sales team, and also the date. But there was no date in the Excel. I created the date. So how do you create dates? Just merge your month and year and change the data type. You'll be able to do that. Okay, so now okay, you had so many problems, Wasil, and then maybe you use this one to learn. Hopefully you'll be able to learn more. So what I did was this. I took this data set. There was something that you need to understand for those who are beginner, who are intermediate. There's something that you need to understand that is called dimensions and fact files. Dimension files and fact file. What do I mean by dimension and fact file? Dimensions are like, they don't change easily. Like if I ask you, how many states are there in Nigeria? Everybody type it. How many states are there in Nigeria? Everybody type. I want to see. It's so simple, it's a simple question, but just type. I want to see if you're in class. Type. How many states are there in Nigeria? How many states are there in Nigeria? I can't see anybody typing, or is it my network?
Yeah, they are typing, they are dropping in there. Yeah.
Guess it's my network then. Okay, good. So MD says 35, other says 36. Hey, primary school. I need to ask you your primary school, MD. MD, where is your primary school? Is it in Nigeria? So that we need to know. If you're not in Nigeria, then I can forgive you. But together with Abuja, it makes it 37. Yeah, that is fine. Okay, good. Good. Now, but the next question is that, do we change the state every month or every day? Do we change the number of states every month or every day or every year? Do we change that? Anybody? Do we change that? Definitely no, we don't. It means that those are dimensions because they don't change. They hardly change. So you have to be able to understand that, okay, if they don't change, what David is saying is that it is dimension because it doesn't change. It doesn't change. But if they keep changing every time, if there's a data set that has been given to you, that it keeps changing every time, it becomes what? It becomes a fact file. So right now, most times your sales data is a fact file. Most times your sales data is a fact file. So you have fact files of sales data, let's say operations, even your attendance in your office is a fact file because every day you have a different time you come. Like somebody like Wasil now. Wasil is that, oh, okay, Wasil will say, okay, I came to the office 7 o'clock, or oh, I came to the office 8 o'clock, the next day 9 o'clock. So that way it just keeps changing. So that is a fact file on its own. Somebody is asking, how do I clean? Just go and learn Power Query. You will know how to clean data sets in Power BI. Go and learn Power Query. Just watch any video on Power Query on your YouTube. you will be able to learn, or you watch my own YouTube channel too, you'll be able to learn. So now what I did here was to get the different unique values of distributor. I got the different unique value of city and country of the same data sets. Then I got the unique value of the channel and sub-channel. Then I got the unique value of also the products. Then I got the unique value of the sales rep. That is what I did. I got their unique values. How did I get that? It's just from the Excel. You can always get it from the Excel. Just a unique value. You can always get it from the Excel. So after I did that, I went to Power BI. Yeah, you can use, can I use Power Query, or I can clean on Power BI? Power Query is where you clean it. Power Query is where you clean your data set. Power BI, you don't clean on Power BI, you clean in Power Query. Power BI is the visualization engine itself. So now let's go to this place. Let's go to Power BI. Now in the Power BI, I need to build my model. So building my model, what I did was to, if you can look at my screen right now, what I did was to do every dimension. I put all dimension up. I put my facts table down. Then you can see that everything is connecting to it. What of products? Yeah, product is there. We call it the DIM product. The DIM product. If you look at it, you see DIM product, DIM location, DIM distributor, DIM channel, DIM sales team, and date. For the date, I did not create it from it. I just saw, I created. Safe to say, we are not in beginners purview anymore. I don't understand that question, but this is beginner. This is what you're supposed to learn in the beginning. So this is a beginner class. If you are not learning this at the beginner, then please, you have to go and look for where you are learning. You're supposed to be able to know model. Modeling is just a beginner class topic. Why do we model data? You model data because you want to build on those data, because there's so many things that you're doing. Now, you don't want to build all your visualization on one single data set. You differentiating them is because you are building from them. And also, when you're writing your DAX, you majorly need all these your modelings that you have done, all these your dimensions that you have done. So your major fact file has to just do with connecting with the data set that is always coming in every day, every time, every week, every month, or every year. But your dimensions are so important because that is where your major engine are. Because if immediately you just want to be building from your major core data set itself, so many things will be breaking. So many things will always be breaking. So, and like also Agu said, you always want to be able to create relationship. And creating relationship has to do with you helping your DAX formulas is so important. Because when you're now running on DAX, you're running on so many things. You will one day, if you're doing a simple report, yeah, maybe a simple report, but if you're building large reports and you know that the report will actually be for a long period of time, please, you need to model your data set. It's just the best practice for you to model your data set. Very, very important. You model your data set. Okay, so now, Wasiu, I will redo my dimension. Only have 5. Okay, I have 6. So just check what you're trying to do. You're supposed to have 6. So, and also it depends on what you're trying to do. Geography, product, sales, fact sales, and customer. No. There are other things. Look at it. Look at it very, very, very well. The sales team, the rep sales team has to be together. Just check what we've done so far. And also you can always rewatch, this. So what I did next was to create the dates. So now in creating the date, I just used DAX to create that. I just used date equals to calendar auto to create that. And I also just add new columns. You can only do it at once, or you can just do it depending on how you want to do it. So different formulas that you have there. You can see my month number. I created it this way. So, and also you have your months. So different, you can actually build this on your Power Query. Actually, you can build it on Power Query and bring it in, but you can also build it here, depending on what you're just trying to do. But best practice, do it in Power Query, best practice. But if you want to do it in Power BI at the DAX level, that is also fine. So what I did here was that the company actually was selling in Germany and Poland. So I was thinking that, okay, while I was 4 a.m. this morning, I was like, okay, if I want to do this, I can just tell the company that, oh, when you click on Germany, all the reports should just give you Germany reports. And when you click on Poland, everything should give you Poland reports, like everything. So that way, you'll be able to, let's say the customer, or let's say the executive, will be able to understand. But sometimes it depends on your audience. A CEO might not need to check, oh, Germany and Poland. No, CEO might want to check everything in total, just everything, a full overview, something like that. So it just depends on what you're trying to do. And sometimes you can redesign it very well. How can I redesign this very well? I can just go to my insert. I go to my image. I can just go and bring in, I think I brought in DSN. Yeah, I can just bring in their logo. I can bring in DSN logo. Can you see? So something like this. I can just bring in DSN logo. And also I can put it below it, like as a wallpaper or something. I can do it that way. Depending on what you're trying to achieve, I can do it that way. And yeah, I can just come here and put it this way. So I can bring it here. And I just increase it. So simple. What do we think about this first page? Is this first page neat enough? Or do we think that we should do something more? This is just a first page. It's just more of what we call the intro. Like you open an app or you open a phone, you just see, oh, you see the logo, you see this and see this. And again, you see overview. So I remember that you are looking at the way, the look and feel of the way the person will move in and out of your reports. So that is why I put these 4 things here. So immediately they see, they're like, okay, oh, I want to go to the overview. Okay, and they go to the overview. So now what I did with this overview, somebody might want to ask, okay, how did you do this overview? Because see what I did in this overview. Immediately I click overview with my control, it moves to the overview page. So how did I do that? So let me go back and teach how we did that. So let me show you how we do that. So let's assume that I wanted to create for customer details. I want to come here to customer details. I want to create, you should be able to move to that place. How do I do that? From the first page. These are the steps to do that. I go to buttons. Then I click on blank. Now in the blank, I come here I open up everything. Let me just open up everything. So is there audio or am I the only one struggling? Please, Zendi, anybody, everybody, can you hear me? Zendi said he's having issue, he or she is having issue with the audio. Okay, the audio is fine. Okay, the audio is good. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, good. Thank you very much. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Yeah, probably the network here. Please just check your connections, please. Okay, good. So what I'm going to do next is I want to be able to write customer details. Customer details. So let me see what I'm going to do. I'm going to first go and change. Let's say I want to be able to. So let me show you. Let me increase my this. So I am on the format side. I'm on the format side. So just check. I want to be able to go there I'm going to increase to rounded corners, something like rounded corners. So have you seen it? So you see that it becomes a kind of a circle a little bit. So from a box to kind of going into kind of a rounded rectangle. So that is what I did there. But that is not the major things I need to do, because I need to write the name. So I'm going to go to style. I'm going to click on text, and I'm going to write customer something. Let me just write customer. Just going to write customer. If I want to increase, I'm going to increase it. Anything I want to do here, I can just touch it here. The fill, if I want it to be in a color, I can just change the fill to, let's say, green, something like that. If that is what I want, something like that, if that is what I want. So you have to play with the formatting very well to be able to understand. One of the things I like is the shadow. Shadow is always beautiful when you do it. Shadow. Can you see how beautiful it is with the shadow? I think I have to come here. I think I'm jealous of the shadow. Let me go and do everything to have shadow. Shadow, come on. Don't worry, I'm going to increase you. Yeah, I think I love this. I love the shadow. But one beautiful thing is that you don't need to be going there and be doing it every time. You can come to home. There's something called the format painter in home. Format painter in home. See what I'm going to do? I'm just going to click on the format painter. It's just like in Word and Excel. I'm just going to touch it. Beautiful. I don't need to be going back and forth. So you can change, you can format something and use your format painter to beautify it across board. So you don't need to stress yourself. Something like this. I like this. I like this. But I did not arrange it very well, but we'll go back there. But the next thing I wanted to do is I want to make sure that the customer can go to the customer details page. That's what I wanted to do. So see what I'm going to do. I'm going to click on customer. I'm going to come back to format and say action should be on. I need the action should be on. But in the action being on, I need to change the type. The type here is back. I need to change the type to page navigation. Everybody look at it. Page navigation, page navigation, page navigation. Okay. So now I'm going to click on page navigation. Then it's going to ask me that, okay, David, where is your destination? Then I'm going to start clicking. I said, oh, I'm going to, everybody look at it. I'm going to the customer details, Okay. I'm going to click that customer details. So see what I'm going to do? It's telling me already now that control click it to go. Control click to go. So let me do that. Control click. Boom. I am here. That is how to do book. That is just how to do button. Do you understand buttons? Everybody, do you understand buttons? Do you understand buttons navigation now? Just say yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Okay. Okay, good. I like that. Yes. Oh, good. I like my class. Yeah, good. Okay. Now, and it's just simple, but it's very beautiful because you know why? People will be able to move easily across board. People will be able to move easily. So it's just so important that you know how to use just little tricks when working with Power BI. Now we've done that. So let's go to our first page. Now, somebody wants to ask that, how did you do this date? Sometimes, most of the time, this is how you see your date. So let me click it. Somebody will say, if I said, okay, David, no. How did you do the rectangle to be so long and you insert everything inside? How did you do that? So I think maybe that is where I'm going to start from so that you understand. So let me tell you the first step I did. I went to insert and I brought in shape. And I brought in a normal rectangle shape. It's a normal rounded rectangle shape. Just simple. I brought that in and I just increase it out. Simple. That's what I did. Simple. And what I did next was to make sure that in my selections, I needed to make it to be the last, something like that. I needed to make it to be like, but I'm going to show you how I got there. But I just wanted you to understand how I did that. So let's do delete. Okay, delete. Okay, good. Now, the next thing is date. Somebody I'm going to ask that, okay, David, how did you do date? Slicer for date. Most of the time, when we have this type of slicers, these are the slicers that always come in for us most of the time. You go and bring in slicer, and you go to field, and you go to dates. And when you bring in your dates, oh, okay, because I have done that, but most of the time, let me show you the type of dates. These are the dates that comes in for you most of the time. This. If this is the date you always see, please tell me yes. Tell me yes. If this is the date you always see so much, many of the time, let me know. This is the date. Okay, good. So let me tell you what you do. Let me tell you what you are going to do. Let me tell you what you're going to do. So you come back to fields here. Let me show you the fields. You come back to field here. You come back to field. You tell your field that, so let me bring it back. There is something here that is supposed to show you. So let me delete it. Let me try and bring it again. So because I want it to, let me show you. Okay, date comes back here. Now you don't want it to summarize most of the time. So you tell it there's an icon here that tell you don't summarize it. Then you come here, it's going to now give you so many things. Most of the time you always have list or drop down. But when you are going to click the icon there in your field, you're going to now have the between, before, after, relative, date, relative time, and stuff like that. You're going to have that. So immediately you have that, you can now start clicking, oh, between. This is between, if you want, or you say before, depending on which one that you want, or you just say after, or relative date. Now, this relative date is what a whole lot of people use most of the time. Now, this relative date is always better for operational reports. What do I mean? Imagine David Akonde want to see what we did for the last one day, or last 1 week, last 1 week calendar, last month, or last 1 year. It's always better that you use this, because when you apply it this way, the report will just work. So why is blank is because of the date. The date is not up to 2022. I think it started from 2017 to 2021 or something like that. So something like that. So, but if I say the last 2 years, let me put it last 2 years. You notice it picked it up last 2 years. So, or if I say that the last, so it's just for you to understand what you are trying to tell, which story you want your user to focus on. So for me, I really don't think I need this. I think I prefer between. I think for me, I prefer between. So I'm just going to take it up back and put it this way. Good. And I am good. So right now, I can just toggle in. And you see, everything just started moving on their own. Toggle out. Or Akonde might tell me that, no, David, I want to be able to see February 2019 to February 2020, or February 2018 to February 2019. So let me go there. I'm going to go to my date, and I'm going to now say, oh, okay, no, I don't want, I want February 2018, from the first day, February 2018 to, then I come here and to say February 2019. So it is a 1 year, 1 year stuff. So I'm going to say February 2019. So let me just go to this place, 2019, and I do February 2019. And that way, February 2019 to the end of February 2019. Boom. And maybe there's just something David Akonji, our CEO, is trying to understand in this 1 year, because maybe that was when the best time that we had in the company, and he just wanted to understand, what did we do here? Do you start understanding the story now that we're trying to make? So it always depends on the story. The story is just so important. And with that story, you can gain a whole lot of things in that story. You can gain a whole lot of things in that story. So now, but let's just go back to the end. Let's just go back to the end. Okay, I've said a whole lot of stuff. Okay, good. Now, we have month-to-month analysis of our sales. We have this. We have the product of sales by manager. Okay, and we have the price by sub-channel. You will notice some things are wrong. The way it was being written was bad. So you have to be careful. Like this, I hate the title, so I have to change the title. The title doesn't make sense. What is sum of sales by month end? It doesn't make sense. So I have to go and get the title. Where is my title? Title. I have to type title. Let me see. I have to change the title because so title is auto. No. I want to say month. I think, yeah, month on month by sales, some things like that. Oh, okay. Oh, that is X title. Oh, sorry. No, that is just month. Good. I do that for month. Then this, I change this also to sales. Yeah, good. And also is that, so yes, I can see the title that I wanted. So I have to change everything. So I have to change everything and say months on months by sales. Let me see. By sales. Good. Now, as simple as this is so important because everybody says, oh, okay, month-on-month analysis by sales. Okay, good. I understand what David is saying here. So, and one of the things I did also was to create this, whereby you can show the different points. So you can do this also. You can just show this. It's just always important that you do some of those things. It's just to make the look and feel. But there's something beautiful about Power BI. David Akonji can say, oh, David, how come that we had in March, which match is this? Or is it the whole total match? Then there's a big problem. Is this the whole total match, David? The total match from January, February, March 2017, March 2018, March. So then I have to start thinking. Okay. So then there's a big problem. So how do we do that? So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to now say, okay, fine. Since my boss wants me to be able to give the different analysis when it comes to year, because I need to be able to go drill down and say, okay, which year am I talking to? Because you said March, August 20, which August have 1.19 billion? Then there's a big issue. I don't know. Why? So see what I'm going to do next? I'm going to come here and say, okay, I want to bring year to this point. There are two ways to do it. I can say, okay, I want to bring year. I'll take year up. Good. Now, you can see this now. 2018 has the largest year's profits that we have in 1 year. But look at this. We might now want to say, okay, 2017 is so low. 2018, we got high. 2019, we came down. 2020, we came down. What is the problem? Why is 2018 the highest? What did we do in 2018? So we need to understand. So now, and this brings us down to what we call the drill down. Now, there's something here called drill down. click to turn on drill down. So I'm going to now click to turn on drill down. But you know one beautiful thing? The drill down mode has been turned on. So you notice it's turned on. If I click it again, it's turned off. If I click it now, it's turned on. Then it says that I should touch on any data point. So in data, when we say data points, we mean by these different points. That's what we mean. So now I'm in 2018 now. I will click on it to be able to drill down. Then immediately I click on it, boom, I can now understand. Oh, this is 2018. We made 8 points. We sold 8.48 quantity. Okay, this is our price. This was the sales. And I'm going to start thinking, okay. But it has not finished, because depending on what you're trying to say, your boss will keep asking questions. And that's one of the most beautiful things about reporting. Your boss should always ask you questions. So now, look at this. We made the highest in March. But my boss might want to be able to say that, please, can you analyze why did we make that much in March? What happened in March? Then can you see this? Analyze and explain the increase. So I'm going to come up here and click explain the increase. Then this is AI in Power BI. So it's now going to go to AI. It's going to go into the data set and start ranking the results. Why do we have that much within February and March? It's going to be looking at it because it's month to month. February and March, it's going to look at it. And now you're beginning to see the different things that we have here. So now it's going to start going and start giving us different reports, depending on what we want to look at. It's going to give us in different charts, depending on what we want to talk about. So if you notice that, oh, okay, this thing is actually important because my boss will be looking for this, then boom, it's going to be a good visual for you to add to your report. So it's so important that you look at that, because you want to be sure that, okay, so look at this now. Look at this. The product. It says that in this product, so let me just try and take it out. It says that Sindodex, Malaviri, and sorry, they are pharmaceutical names, so I'm not sure. I'm not good with that. So it just gave us those names and said that those were the ones that had the largest increase among the product's name in that month, within February and March of that month. So now your boss is already thinking, okay, why did we have that? Why are those products selling in that month? And those are the conversations you're beginning to have as an analyst, because the end point as an analyst is you saying the business insights of it. Okay, so let me go back. We've done this. I think you'll be able to understand the line chart, the increase and stuff like that. Now we have this. Let me come here first. So you'll notice here that we have product and we have manager. Now these are the managers, but when I click on control click, you'll notice that it brings out different products. But in the same vein, when I click on manager, it brings out manager. How did we do it? So follow me and look at how we did it. Now, this is what we call buttons. We call them the bookmark. So first things first, I am going to turn on, I'm going to go to view. I'll turn on selection and bookmark. I'll go to view, turn on selection and bookmark. Now, because of what we're trying to do, I think that there is one I am not done yet. I intentionally left it so that I can teach you that. So let me go to yes. So it's just the same thing with this. We have the product class here. If you see, I click on product, you'll notice it brings me the sum of sales by product. But when I click on sales team, it brings me the sales team analysis. But I want to be able to go for manager too. I want it to give me for manager. So how do I do that for you to give me for manager? Now let's go there. So see what I did? I created a button, which I have taught you from the beginning of the class. I created a button. I just put the button there. Nothing is in the button. Then the next thing I needed to do was that I wanted whereby the dashboard that talks about manager must be visible and others must not be visible. So let me show you what I mean by others must not be visible. Now, this is price. I think the price X. Yeah. I think let me see. Let me be sure. This is distribution. Okay, let me see. Control X. Okay, for you to know inside, let me show you. So see, this is the first visual. So if I go back to, that is the table. If I go back to the price X, I come here and I on it back, there's something that I can show. If I show everything, just look at it now. I have like different visuals. So let me break it out for you. Can you see? I have like 3 visuals in the same place. Sorry that I meshed everything up. Yeah, I'm scattering everything again, but I'm going to redo them. So I have like 3 different visuals in different places. See it? But I brought everything back together. I said, okay, the same size, everything stacked on each other. So that's what I did. So now, if you look at this, this was talking about sales team. This was talking about, so let me just start bringing them together back. This guy was talking about product class. This guy was talking about the manager. So I brought them back together. So let me show you. So this was the class. This was the last one that our price X manager. This was the last one. Good. So now we have this. So it takes a whole lot of work. It takes a whole lot of work. So you have to be careful. You have to be very, very careful. You have to make sure they are aligned together. So you notice, remember that when you do this, it brings out the product. When you do sales team, it brings out for the sales team. But remember that there's still one more actually. So now there are 3 visuals there. So what I want to do is that I want to be able to hide. Whenever I click on this bookmark, price X by manager, I want it to be able to, whenever I start with that, when I click it, I want it to hide table and sum of sales. That's what I want it to do. But I want whereby the price X is visible. That's what I want to do. So look at this now. I want to hide table. You say I'm hiding table. See some of this, some of product, I don't need that. I want to hide it, but I want this guy to show. That's what it means. I want this guy to show. So I'm not going to go to my bookmark and add and say, bookmark, please, bookmark this. Bookmark means give me the snapshot of what I have. The picture of where I am currently, give me. That's what it just means. So if you want to plan a wedding and you want to go and snap a picture or a birthday shoot, what you have as at that point that the camera snap is a bookmark. So just think it from that perspective. So you now want a button to show that bookmark at that point in time. That's what it means. It means that when I click on this button, show me the picture that I recorded at 2 p.m. That's what I'm doing right now. So I'm going to go to bookmark and say, bookmark, I want you to give me the name called price X. I'm just going to click enter. So if I click this, so notice if I click this, sales team give me this. If I click product, it give me this. If I click price X, you notice that he has given me what I wanted. So that's, oh, good. Okay, good. Now, I'm not going to go and tell price X manager button. I said, but hey, guy, I have snapped the picture for you. Now, I want to attach you to the picture. So I'm going to go to the bookmark and say, action, guy, on your action for me. Then, remember when we use this action, we use it for page navigation, but we'll not use it for page navigation right now. We use it for bookmark. Then when I click on bookmark, and I'll now say, what is the name of my bookmark? Price X, because that is the name of the picture. So now let me try and see if it makes sense. When I click on product class, give me product class. Cool. When I click on sales team, give me sales team. Okay. When I click on price X, good. Good. I love that. So that is bookmark. Bookmark is a whole lot, but you just need to learn it. Rewatch it over and over again. Rewatch it over and over and over and over again. That is how I did the bookmark. And it's crazy, but yeah, but that is just how it is. So these are 3 visuals in the same location. So you just have to think it one way or the other. You think it that way. Let me see my time. Oh, I have 30 more minutes. Okay. Now, the next thing you want to do is that, remember, you're seeing this, and you want to be able to say, okay, how does my government, like how does your visual, I'm touching government, but I want to be able to see some analysis on government, some things like that. So now I need to be able to do this, something like this, just shows a picture of something like that. I just want to be able to do this. So now this is what we call tooltip. So tooltip is in different form. So you want to be able to say, okay, tooltip connecting from one page to another page. If you love what you're actually seeing right now, you can snap the lecture, post it on Twitter, tag DSN, tag me. I want to see what you're learning. I want to just hear what you're learning. I want to see that. So now what I did was this. I just said, okay, because my boss wants to say, okay, what makes up government? Like maybe there are different things that makes up government. So I need to, he wants to know what makes up this government. What are the product, item, and some things that makes up government? So I went to a new page. What is my Twitter handle? My Twitter handle is David Abu. I think so. Yes, my Twitter handle is David Abu. So I went to a new page. Then what I did first was this. I went to the new page and I said, okay, I went to this place. They call page a page information or something. Yeah, page information. Then if you look at your page information, I wanted to use this page. You know that your normal page is always big, a very big canvas, 16 by 9. I said, no, I don't want that. So see what I did? I went to the tooltip and changed it to I went to the page information and changed it to tooltip. Let me do it for you. Let me use a new page. So see what I'm going to do. Allow to use as tooltip. I just on it. Immediately, it's going to show a very small page. Very, very small. So that's what it is. So I went back to and I said, okay, this is what I want. Then I needed to create the type of visualization that has to be here. I wanted to create the type of visuals that I want it to be here. So I went here, and you have to remember that whatever you are doing in your tooltip, that same category must be in the major report. You understand? So if I'm using manager, I have to have a manager analysis. If I'm using location, I have to have the location analysis, something like that. So I brought in orders, brought in this, and I think I remember, yes, I did this, brought in the manager here and stuff like that. And I also remember that it depends on what you're trying to do. So what I did next, after I created this tooltip, I went to this place called tooltip. There's a place here called tooltip. I needed to keep all filters. I put tooltip, I put the manager here. Then I came back to my product analysis. At this product analysis also, I put distributor. Yeah, also, I think I remember that I put in different, I know that I put in different ones. I think I put in manager here also. So let me see if the manager will work. Okay, it was due through that was here. Okay, but I think that there was a manager one that I know. Yeah. So okay, good. Yeah, exactly. I know that yes, there was tooltip here too. So that's what I did. So when you combine the tooltip here and the tooltip, the same category, immediately it will just start showing in the analysis that you're trying to create. So some of the things that we did there. Because of time, I have so many things to show you guys, but because of time. Now, something here. I was trying to give you guys trend analysis, predictive, if you want to forecast. So that's what I did here. If you want to forecast and stuff, you can always just forecast here. So that's what I did here majorly. So what did I do here? It's just your normal line charts, but you bring in your year and your month. You bring in your year and your month, and you bring in your sum of sales. You bring in your year and your month, you bring in your sum of sales, and you can what? You can always drill down. You can always drill up, and you just forecast. How do you forecast? Let me teach you. When you bring in your line charts, it works majorly with line charts. It works majorly with line charts. And I click here, and we always have things like this. Most of the time, so let me just do it very well. Let me just start all over again. You're supposed to have something like this. Yeah, amount, and we go back to your DAX. You bring in sales. Good. When you bring in sales, you have forecast. I don't know why forecast is not coming out. Forecast was there before, so I don't know why forecast is supposed to come out. When you have a forecast, so let me see why it's not coming out. So let me just see. Yeah, a month. So let me rebuild it again. Yeah. So most of the time I like my year to be my X axis, and you have your month's name. No, not in my legend, in my X axis, brother. Put it in my X axis, please. And you have sales. Good. So let's see. Oh, I think I created a trade line. Yeah. So, but you can see that my forecast is out. You can see forecast is out. So now I can on my forecast. I can turn it on. Make like I turn it on. It gives me analysis of what the future might hold for the business, something like that. If you want to use that, you can always watch more video on forecast analysis using Power BI. You also have the trend analysis, whereby you can also try and check depending on what you're trying to look at. You want to look at also the trend analysis. Now, one of the reasons why I brought this was to show the different things that you can do. So imagine you have your different category here, you have your month here, you have your year. So let's assume like let me use this. I wanted to show you something. I want to show you something called dynamics, because I know that some of you might want to ask, in the customer tooltip, was it customer tooltip or distributor tooltips? How did I get, I think it's, yeah, distributor tooltip. How did I get the name? You know where it was changing to different names. How did I get that? Nobody was asking me, but I know that you definitely asked me. Maybe you have sent it on my Twitter right now. So, but don't send it. Let me teach you here. So now it was just a DAX that I wrote. It was only a DAX that I wrote, that whenever you pick any anything that is being filtered on, it should just change. So let me show you what I did here. So let me increase it so that everybody can see. Control Shift plus icon. Hopefully it works. Okay, I think it's Control plus. Okay, good. Control plus. So if you see, it says that this is a DAX selected distributor. This report is for, that's what I meant. I said you're going to start the sentence with this report is for, then select selected value of that distributor, or else just write distributor details. Now I can also do this for, let's say, year analysis. Let's assume that this report is for 2018. This report is for 2019. Let's think of that. let's think of that. So let me see. Let's see. I'm trying to. Okay, an error occur. Okay. So why is the error occurring? What is happening? Okay. One thing about demo is that you have to always pray that all your demo are working. If not, it just shows that, okay, I don't know what is the report. Which report issue do I want to report on now? I don't need to report any issue. So sorry, it's still loading. Okay. Send. I hope it doesn't take me out. Okay. But if you have any questions, you can keep asking, because I know that we're close to the end. So, okay, you know what? Let me just cancel this. Let me just cancel. I'm trying to cancel now. Sorry. Just trying to cancel. Good. Have mercy. Okay, so it's just giving me some technical issues, but let me see. So let me see this. Okay, so why is this giving me issues? You know what? Let me just stop sharing. Let me understand what is wrong with this guy. Why is it giving me issues? So let me see. But you can ask me questions though, but I know that I think we've done a whole lot. You can ask me questions. Okay. I think the whole system is freezing. I think I've reported. David, if you think that there's any question, until I agree to extend the class. Okay. I don't know why it's giving me technical issues, but it's fine. Let me see if I can end my class.
Thank you so much, David. This actually a lot we put together within the time frame of 2 hours. I'm very sure that this class cannot end here today, because there is a lot to learn. We are going to ensure that we have another session to bring on board David again. So actually, we have a lot we want to actually present to you today, but we can't go far more than 2 hours, so that we are not going to be stressed much.
Exactly. Okay, guess my Power BI said it's not going to work again. So I'm so sorry, but I think we've been able to do a lot. It's just that I don't know what is wrong. I think I have to start my system all over again. I don't want to do that. But thank you very much, everybody. I have to on my video. Okay. So thank you very much, everybody. You can ask your questions. The link that I sent earlier on gives you, let's say, the background knowledge of you understanding visualizations. But the technical ones, you can always watch my YouTube content. You can always just look at my stuff on Twitter, on LinkedIn, video. We also have community. The DSN community is there. You can always even check the Power BI community majorly, community.powerbi on Microsoft. You can see some of my content there too. My YouTube channel is also there. But I hope you've learned something. I think we got to over 100 people in class.
Yeah, we have over 100 people attended the session. So please kindly drop your question on the chat so that we can pick them up. At least we still have a few minutes to the end of session. We are about close to 15 to 20 minutes thereabout. So kindly ask your question.
Yeah. I saw that tech with this class. I haven't started Power BI sincerely. After this lecture, I will completely assume I know Power BI. I will start practicing. Yeah, Power BI.
Yeah, you should.
I am still learning Power BI, sincerely. I used to tell people I am still learning Power BI. Like, Power BI is crazy. So there's so many new things that is always coming. I wanted to show you quick measure, the AI within quick measure, whereby you can tell Power BI the type of DAX that you want to do, and Power BI will create that DAX for you. It's something beautiful. Maybe next time,
Okay.
I'll be able
Maybe
to share that.
I just show them that.
Yeah, you can show them, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
My question is that if your month column is nowhere arranged and you didn't build month DAX, how could I solve that? Okay, so you have to create a month. So you have to create a month number column, and you now tell your month to sort by month number column. Immediately you'll be seeing January, February, March, because I know that most of the time is always the case whereby you have, let's say, April, the first one. I hope maybe that was the question you're asking, was you. But what you do is that you create a month number column that says that every January is 1, February 2, something like that. Then you now tell January that you now tell your month name that, hey, don't sort alphabetical order, sort by this column that I've created for you. So January will now be 1, February will now be 2. And that's something that you start creating. And that is so easy, actually. It's just for you to create that. What is the difference between ML code and DAX? Sincerely, I'm not an ML guy, but DAX is what we call the data analysis expression. It's just like the code, the language of Power BI. So because I want to be flexible about what I'm doing, that is why I'm using DAX. So at the very beginner level, you might not use DAX, but sincerely, when you want to start going advanced, you need to start using DAX. Where is the best resources you can learn DAX? If you go to my Twitter handle, you will see my YouTube channel, you will see DAX. You can learn DAX. Also, even the Power BI, if you go to the Microsoft Learn, you will have different sections for DAX. You can learn that also on Microsoft Learn. But also my YouTube channel is there for you to learn DAX. But one thing is that the more you begin to work on data sets, the more you begin to understand DAX. Yeah. How are we getting the video? DSM will send that video to you because you registered for the event. Yeah. Okay. David, you can share your screen and you can talk about.
Okay.
Yeah.
A minute. Okay, you can still continue picking those questions while I pick this one up.
Which question is that? David, can you hear me?
Can you hear me? So somebody asked, the way you show your data model affected your measure when you are building your visualization?
Yes, definitely it affects. I hope maybe that is the question. If no, the way you build your model is, it will always affect, because you know that you are picking it from your model side and everything. It's just because we could not go like in total, but yes, it will always affect. There's another question that says that, is learning Power BI enough to gain an entry-level role? Power BI is not enough. There are different skill sets. The add skill set is, let's say, the Power BI, but you have documentation skill sets. You know how to have your project work. You know how to interpret data. You know how to tell stories with your Power BI. Power BI, just learn Power BI is Power BI. Just like you saying you learned Excel. There are some people that will teach PowerPoint and they will not know that this is PowerPoint. That is just the way it is. So learning it doesn't mean anything. It's until you can use that to create value. That is when you mean something. So entry-level role, there's so many things in entry-level role. Power BI is just one of it, but just not everything. So yeah, I hope I've been able to answer your question. David?
Okay. Yeah, so I think we maybe what we are going to do, we are going to have maybe another session of class to cover some other aspect of the class, because I think we are 5 minutes gone now, so that we can just round up and then be able to prepare for next class. So what I will just advise everybody on the course to ensure that they follow us on all our social media, to ensure that when we are having the next class, you can be the first to be notified. So you still be looking out for David, because a lot of people have been asking me now, like, you must come for the second class. Like, this first leg actually get them. So they want to give you they are looking for the second leg ladder.
We are going to think of a way. We are going to think of a way. Hopefully, we might. I will have some discussion with DSN, because really, I saw a large crowd. 100 people is more of an encouragement. We're going to see of a way in which we can have a collaboration together going forward. But yes, definitely, this is not my last time coming to DSN.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really, really appreciate the great session that you have with our team today. This is really a lot for us. So, so the video recording we make available on our YouTube channel, and also all the participants will also get notified immediately it's uploaded today. So we did stream live so that we can have people attention on the call, and also so that they can have access to materials and other details, which is one of the key things. So we are going to share it across our channel and let you be notified. So thank you very much for joining the call, everyone. And it has been a wonderful session. So David, I really want to appreciate you for the time spent with us, and it's really encouraging to see people looking after you to as their role model and mentor. See, okay, so we have a mentorship platform on DSA, and people have been requesting that they would like you to be their mentor as well. So maybe after this call, I will still have discussion with you to see if you can just mentor maybe one or two based on your availability, so that they can also learn from you, share their work for review and the like. I don't know if that is open for discussion as well. All right, thank you so much.
Okay. Hello, can you hear me now? All right, thank you so much. David, can you hear me too? Let me check. Let me see how to call. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. We do have a great day and wonderful day, everyone. Bye. Thanks for joining.